All right, so this is the Teepee hot tent. They sent this to me so that I can show it to you. And I tell you what, I think it's pretty neat, especially if you were out hiking or if you were in the mountains and it got late, or you was even planning on spending the night. This is something that's going to be able to set up in literally minutes. It is a 4-person tent, and you notice there's a hole in the top. They call it a Teepee hot tent which allows you to put a little mini stove in there and keep warm overnight. So we're getting ready to put a stove in here, but I first wanted to show you the tent. All you're going to do is spread the thing out, and then you're just going to drop stakes in all the way around and pull it tight. The center part is loose enough that you're going to be able to prop it up with that center post. Now, for the stovepipe, you can either leave that opening all the way open, or they do give you a little piece of mesh with Velcro around the edge of it so that you can just secure it right to it and cut a hole out of here for your stovepipe, and then you're going to make that just a little bit more windproof. Now, we're not going to do that today, just having some demonstration purposes here, but you'll notice also that all the way around the tent we got these little holders and some guide wire. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take that guide wire through the hole, and we're going to pull it out and put it into a tent stake out here into the ground so that we can pull this tent all the way out. But like I said, it's not very windy today, so we're not going to worry about pulling all these out and dropping all these guide wires in and putting all the stakes in. Now, what's really nice about this tent is, come here, look at this. You've got a zippered opening right here, and they Velcro together. We'll close that up here in just a minute, but we can pull this little stake out here, we can fold it over and come inside. I'm 5 foot 4 inches, and I have plenty of room to stand up, and then on the floor we have plenty of room for 4 adults to lay down and to rest overnight. Here's a second door right here on the other side, and it too is going to zipper from the inside or the outside, and then that's going to Velcro from the outside. Now, this pole here is the only pole that's provided for you, and it's just going to make your teepee super easy and simple to set up, making these walls nice and tight. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our little stove. We're going to set it down right here. We're going to put the stovepipe out, and we're going to show you just how neat this tent really is. All right, so typically nobody would ever think about putting a stove inside of a tent, but here we've got one, and you can see that what we're doing here is just getting that cast iron super hot and burning off just the excess of the paint. There's nothing to worry about here. It's just the first time burning, and I tell you what, we're getting really, really good heat right here. I don't have a lot of wood in here, but this is something that can be used to generate the heat that you need for overnight. Also, you can use this to cook on, and you got your 2 racks here. So these do fold up so that you can keep it nice and compact, and then you can use your little hook here to open these back up when they're nice and hot and you're ready to use them. Maybe to put some burgers on it, maybe to put some hot dogs on it, it doesn't matter. Now, the only thing that you really had to do here to put this together was to put the door on and to put the handles on, and then outside of that, it was ready to go. Now, one thing that I will say about this stovepipe is that you do want to make sure that you're not touching any part of the tent, because this does get extremely hot and it could melt the fabric of the tent. So you just want to pay attention to that. Down here at the door, it's just going to open up, and this is heat resistant here. The handle is not hot at all. And then right down here you do have an ashtray, and you also got a air control, a vent control, so that you can allow a lot of air to go in and get that fire nice and hot, or you can go ahead and shut that down just like that so that it's not getting the oxygen that it needs in order to burn. Once we open that back up, you'll see that flame will kick up pretty quickly because there's a good draft that's going through here. And I tell you what, I can really feel the heat in here getting awful hot. If you are an outdoorsman and you like to spend time in the mountains, you like to be outdoors during the cool winter months, and you don't have the protection that you need, then this hot teepee tent is definitely something that needs to be on your list. Couple that with this little hot stove. You can put pans on top of it to cook with. You can lay these over the top and do your hot dogs and your hamburgers, whatever you want to do here for your cooking, for your heat. I tell you what, this is just a win-win situation. I really like it, and I think that if you are an outdoorsman, I think that this is something that you're really going to like as well. These stove pipes, once they cool off, they do have a carrying bag, and so all you're going to have to tote is the stove and then a bag to carry that in. Super nice, convenient, easy to use. And this tent right here, it just pops up within minutes. One person can do it by themselves. You put a little mat out here to keep yourself up off the ground. This is going to be the ideal camping situation.